We are back on the Richard Husel Real Estate Hour, live on the Strip with Jim Dallas, Brian Ichikawa at the RatePro.com. We were just mentioning our partner Ticor Title. Had 3 closings with them. I got to tell you, there's so many negatives out there in the world right now, and I've been having the most optimistic week going. Not only we close, had a really significant month in March, but I'm going back. Remember, this is Wednesday, so it had to have been 29 days ago, Brian, I think is when we hit, maybe a little bit more than that. We just had the war. About 35 days ago, we hit 5.99 average on the rate, right? It was big national news. We were all optimistic going into the spring buying season. Then we started dropping bombs over in Iran. And if you know anything about why rates go down, go back to September 11th, right? 9/11. Rates went very, very low. We had 3 of the best years in the car business ever had because rates were so low, right? Chevy and them 0% for 60 months, and everybody went out and bought cars. And we had COVID, something very, very bad as well. Lowered the rates very, very low. And what happened? House prices went back up through the roof. Now we're in war. We thought maybe we'd see a pullback in the market. However, we know fuel prices have gone up from around 55, 60 a barrel to about 103. Every $10 rise in oil is about 25 cents at the gas pump. So the markets are seeing this. So rates have gone up. So we were all excited that rates were trending down very, very nicely. They've gone up, 55 basis points, Brian?
Yeah, no, we're at 6.5.
We're seeing today, Homes.com is reporting, CNBC, the same story. Home refi applications down 40% week over week. Rates are high. There's no way to sugarcoat it. We're back to where we were. However, we're still near all-time average prices. So we have somebody right now that Brian and I are working with. Logan and I, we've showed them, I think, 24 homes in the last few days, significant amount of homes up and down the price range. Now they found a home, Brian, that they can't live without. You have a home, but here's the thing, they didn't want to put their house on the market. We've taken all the photos, we're ready to go. Now they have a house that's right next door to their best friend. It just came on the market literally today, and we're going to look at it right after the show. Tell us about this buy before you sell program for that person that has a house, they haven't sold it yet, they have some good credit, they have some equity, they don't want to miss it. Talk to us and why it's better than a bridge or a HELOC.
Well, it is a kind of a bridge loan, but basically what you're going to do is it allows you to get money out of your current home to put it down on the next house.
Yeah.
And they do charge a fee to do it, but you're not making a payment on this loan. And then that whole time you're not making a payment.
120 days?
120 days. And the reason they say 120 days is supposed to give you enough time to move out of your old house, move into the new one, get the old one sold.
Get it vacant, get it sold, a little easier, right? It's vacant, it's always easier to get it sold. People are more likely to want to come see it. They can envision.
They don't have to look past your stuff.
Right.
So the main thing is it's empty, it's sold. And if it doesn't sell, they make you an offer so that you're not continuing to make the house payment on your old house and a new one. So that you can get that out of your hair at least.
So I call that a bona fide offer, but talk about the debt to income and what is different about this that helps that person with that average income. It's funny because Brian, guys, when we say average income of 100,000, that used to feel like a lot of money, but in the context of buying 2 homes, 100,000 doesn't support under traditional
correct.
Debt to income.
Yeah, because if you did it normally, you'd have to afford your current home, plus you're trying to get the payment for this new, bigger, more expensive house.
So this program, correct me if I'm wrong, it allows that person that makes good income but not huge income that has tried to maybe buy before and they've been told, no, you have to have this house sold, closed, paid for before you can take over this one, even with great credit, because you have to
balance. Yeah, you got to balance both of them. This way you don't have to, because this particular company is going to put an offer on your house. Because there's a pending offer on your house, they don't count that debt against your income. Now,
was that Searchlight?
There's it's HomeLight.
HomeLight. We had them on our show. That's when we went to the what suite? The Hangover suite.
Yeah, Caesars, yeah.
They threw quite a party here, and you invited me. We were up at the Hangover suite in Caesars Palace. They were quite the partiers. This is a big company. They're doing 250 loans a month of this particular program, nationwide company. So we got to learn about their program there, and then they went out. Yeah, Jim.
I got a question about the suite.
Yeah.
You know where they go outside to the balcony?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And they've got the drapes and everything. Is that accurate?
Yeah.
So he has the staircase, and we stood around. They had sushi and drinks, and there were DJs, and it was a wild party. This is a pretty young crowd. When you
Yeah,
say
they're pretty young.
But it was by the sign.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're up high. When he told me it's one thing to go to the strip, but he's good. You want to go to the Hangover Suite? I'm like, you know what? I do, and we're going to go. So what was that? A few months back? It was
October.
It was October. So we headed out for that, but we had them on as a guest on our show. But this program, if you're sitting on the sidelines, give Brian a call. Go to therapepro.com. Give me a call. Let's talk about that and see if it is something you want to do.
Now, another added benefit to this is, sometimes not everybody wants to do a contingent offer because, sometimes it doesn't balance out correctly. This way you don't have to be in such a big rush. You don't have to miss the house. You don't have to rent a place after you sell your current house, trying to get the next house.
Well, sometimes what people do is they're not in such a strong position in the contingent. So you know what they do? They offer higher price than they may to. So yes, you are going to borrow, you're going to spend something to get the money. You always have to pay to get some money, right?
Yeah.
Whether it's credit card or buy a car, you're going to pay for it. However, this one you can make a stronger offer because it's not a contingent offer. Yes, we know that you need that money. This makes you a strong offer, just like you're doing any traditional buy. How does that work? So they get the buy before you sell. They go into make a purchase on the new home. You convert them into a regular loan that takes care of the...
It's a regular loan you can get on your next house. And then when the old house sells, there's more equity to be had. You decide, do you want to put that extra money back towards the new loan to reduce the payment? We can do a recast. Or you decide, you know what, I want the cash.
Let's use round numbers to make it easy. $1 million sale price on the home. Talk about the percentages and the difference. So if the person thinks they're going to sell that home for $1 million, you guys give them a value.
70%.
So it's 70%. So you have to have some money, you have to have some equity, but you sure would with a bridge loan or something as well. So if you have a high debt to value, loan to value, of course it's not going to work for you. But if you're
if you just got your house a year and a half ago, this won't work.
Right.
So if you bought your home pre-COVID and you had money put down, this is going to work.
So we've
9
had
times out of 10.
4 new builders on our show. I'm in escrow right now with KB Homes. I've got a buyer that bought from dirt. So we went into escrow on January 6th. And I will tell you, I could not believe how busy it was at the beginning of January. It felt like a spring buying season. They could not get to everybody in the line. So they bought from bare dirt. It was a very simple process. But I've put you in contact with them. Normally you can never ever beat the builder. Why? The builder is giving incentives. So there's a difference between what we call a quick move house. That's a house that's a spec house. It means they bought it, they built it, it's ready to go. You can close on it almost immediately in most cases, and they want to get it sold. Now dirt builds are a little bit different. So what's happening is they've been offering incentives on these homes that are ready to go, but they have not been offering them on the dirt builds because you're making it custom. And what was the quote, Brian? I mean, you just called the other day 6.875 from.
And then now remember when they first started, they told them 5.5.
Told them 5.5. So yes, we got a lower quote. Well, we got it. So they're pushing it up to a May 15th close. KB just quoted them 6.875. This is a physician's assistant, 800 credit score, solid buyer, no other debt. They're super solid. I'm talking with you in the 6.3s and things on the same loan. You're actually beating the builder. Now, yes, they are going to give back a little bit of incentive, but it's not that much. It's $10,000. When that doesn't work out to even a whole point, you're actually able to quote lower than the builders in this particular place.
No, and their priority was to get the payment low as possible because they don't want to have to refinance again. They just want to get this loan done and move forward.
Now this one, for the people we're talking about, it's not their dream home. They're going to be in there for a period of time. Talk about points, because so many people talk about, you and I were talking about what a point is and how a point does not actually always equal 1%,
Correct.
Especially in the jumbo, but on the particular people, they need 40 months to break even. Talk about somebody who's going to live in a house maybe a short time, maybe they're enlisted or there's a reason they're going to be leaving. Is it always good to buy the points?
No, because there's 2 ways a bank makes money. It's either through fees or through the rate. And so what's going to happen is you got to look at both scenarios. Like sometimes you'll get a lender and they'll say, hey, you can pay several points to get this certain rate. But if you look at it, the cost of a point, you say, well, what's a point? A point is 1% of the loan amount. But paying 1 point doesn't mean your rate goes from 6% to 5%. doesn't work that way.
Well, another word for point is prepaid interest, right?
Correct.
So think of it as a fee. So my folks that I'm going to see right after, we're looking at a house that's about 1.2 million. They said a point. The percentage you gave me, I said, well, it's a point does not always mean 1%, right? It could be 50 basis points, 40 basis points. So we're talking about these points. You can help somebody with it, do a comparison side by side, show them that net tangible benefit with if it's better, and actually help give them the right.
And then what happens is when someone's pricing out a loan, what they're going to do is, and I show people the rate sheets so they can see. So look what happens. When you pay 1 point, 1 point doesn't mean a whole percentage. It means the rate might come down a quarter.
We're running up on a break. We're watching Fox News here, watching the Artemis takeoff. It is well on its way to the moon. We're talking about RatePro.com. Pretty exciting, guys. Appreciate you listening. This is the Richard Husel Real Estate Hour. We are back live at the Richard Husel Real Estate Hour, right in the Shadow Mandalay Bay. Jim Dallas, Brian Ichikawa. We've been talking about rates. We've been talking about our senior Blue Sky Senior Services. So we've been licensed insurance since 2018. So, Brian, we have a fleet of box trucks. We handle everything for everybody when they move. What do I mean by that? We handle the boxes, packing materials. We help with the cleaning. We get your home cleaned. Help with the decluttering, whether it's giving away to a veteran charity, Goodwill, wherever you like, taking the dump runs and things. But also been working with Keller Williams Planner, helping with seniors. Now, Brian and I in Ticor Title, we just did our luncheon at Sienna Tutorial last week. We did it for age in place, but a lot of people in their 70s and 80s plus. And we've been doing the handyman service. We are starting our subscription service for all of our maintenance. So I was talking about the different things we did. Talked about our first visit when we come over. We're going to change your filters. We're going to make sure your batteries are right. We're going to change them. There's no extra charge for anything. Now, of course, if you have your garbage disposal go out, or you need a GFI, or maybe you buy a fan or a fixture, we can take care of those things for you. We're licensed insured just for that. We've got a certified techs that are going to be doing it. You'll pay for that, but you're going to pay no extra fee. So on the next,
so is this a subscription? Is it like a 1 year?
Do a subscription. You can pay quarterly or monthly. We're going to do 30% off. What this does is we are your person that you are going to call anytime that you need anything. We're going to live answer. You're going to have a direct line to us. You're never going to pay our techs any money. The only time you would is if you actually called the office and said, hey, I need to get a new garbage disposal. Sure, we can get you a garbage disposal. We can take care of it for you. We have body cams. We have uniforms. We've been doing this for a while. We've sold multiple homes in Sun City. We advertise in Sun City and Sienna. Now, we did that for a while. We let it go this last year. We are re-upping that. You're going to see us. So we are your senior relocation specialist, and we are going to take care of your home for you. Now, we're doing it actually under the charge. If I just sit there, guys, with a calculator and say, I'm doing this as a handyman business or do this, I would be charging more to do this, and I would be able to get it. This is there. We want to be your trusted person when you want to go buy, sell, or maybe property manage. There's times when you may be able to have to move into smaller housing or into assisted living. Maybe you like to take that paid for house instead of doing a reverse mortgage and stuff. Actually, let's rent that house and get you some income and do it. We also stay in touch with your kids as needed. We're always there for you. You can call us as you need things. Emergency visits are included. When I say emergency, we're talking about you have a limb break in your house, a drip line is going up 8 feet in the air. We'll come over. No extra charges for these. We also have our buying service, where if you need help with buying or you want a comparative analysis on what an AC is, you want to get a second opinion, we're going to do it. We also have our partners. We're going to be announcing. We've been talking to multiple people that we've had on our show, different processors. These are our preferred people, and they're going to begin very similar to an Angie's List. You're going to get some guarantees from us. If they ever work for you, we're going to know that they're working for you, and we're going to guarantee your satisfaction. These are hand-picked people that we've worked with for years. Going back to our buy before you sell, talking about points and things, Brian, what else do we have here? We have...
well, we were talking about the way the points work, and it's not a 1-to-1 ratio. You don't pay 1% of the loan amount and then have the rate go down by 1%. It's going to vary, so that's why I show people the actual rate sheet so they can see how much it actually influences the rate. It's not 1-to-1, but it doesn't always make sense to pay.
So it takes about 40 months, give or take?
It depends on the loan amount and depends on the rate. You know, sometimes you'll look at it and say, hey, I can make my money back in 2-3 years, then it's all right. But if you're going to say 4 or 5 years, and it might not be worth it.
So I think about all the people we've been on the show. By the way, I just got a call. I'm on the Kevin Walsh show. I kind of co-host with you, Jim Dallas, on Thursdays, and I'll be on tomorrow. And our good friend Kevin Wally's had a little procedure, maybe run a little late. So I'm going to be you and I tomorrow from noon to 3.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun, and well, you know, we're going to find out what Trump is going to be talking about tonight.
Yeah, we talk about politics, sports, everything going. But where I was going with that is I've been on the Kevin Walsh show, I think 70 plus times before I started sitting in for the additionals. And I think about all the people I've talked to through radio. Radio's been wonderful for me. Lots of seniors, self-employed people, and people that need some help. So we've been doing commercial real estate. Brian's been helping me get some of these bigger deals. We just interviewed for an $11 million deal. We actually put on a tie. I'm not much of a tie guy anymore, but we both showed up in those. We're also got a $2.5 million deal right down the street. I mean, right down the street, down by Chicken Tacos El Gordo, right from Town Square.
I think I've only seen you in ties in pictures.
Yeah, I wore a tie. I think I wore a tie the first time I've come in here. So yes, I'm often. I wear a cowboy hat in my my one photos.
Yeah.
I know when I do have to dress nice. Now my son, he's an agent. He's 20. He has to dress nice. He hasn't earned his chops yet, so he has to dress sharp most of the time. But you know, we do a lot of real work, right? We do handyman work for people. So we do our photo prep. We had a house yesterday, guys. Four doggies in the house. I'm moving furniture from side to side, get everything ready for photos. So yeah, we do that. But where I was going with this, you do commercial. I'm selling commercial. I've got a place out in, got a little over $1 million out in Boulder City. Got a 1920 South Maryland Parkway we have for sale. Talk about commercial loans. If somebody wants to get an opinion on a loan, can they talk to you beyond just the residential, Brian?
Yeah, no, like right now I got a couple SBA deals going up.
Yep.
SBA is something you use if you're going to use the building for your own business,
Okay.
not just to buy for an investment purpose. If you're going to buy something for investment, like an office or a strip mall, we have different loans for that.
So I've got 1920 Maryland Parkway. Let's say a guy's a dentist, maybe it's a immigration attorney or CPA that would like to be there, and that basically the house. Let's call that price $575. They come in at $575. Traditional loan, you come up with 20%. But if the person is going to work at it as a sole proprietor, they don't have to come up with any money.
No, they can get not only the purchase of the property, but we can do the fixtures too.
Real good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we can do a lot of things in there. It's like if they went for school, like you said, like the best examples, like a dentist, then you can go ahead and finance their equipment, finance the build out and the building, and then you can be all done. But also, there's a separate loan if we really push the limit for not really working capital, but like 6 months of expenses.
So what I'd like you to do, if you're thinking about selling commercial, you've talked about talking to some of the big guys in there that you think they're going to do a better job, talk to Brian and I. Brian can talk commercial financing. We can co-market that property for you. We are actually doing commercial now. Some of these are NDAs, right? You know about some of these businesses where there's a business attached to it where you got to market a little bit different, right?
Yeah.
Because you've got employees, you got to worry about vendors, creditors, and different things. So you got a vendor, you actually have to have somebody that can actually work behind the scenes for you. Switching gears, let's go to a different side of luxury. We've talked about the different prices, and we're still near record prices. You and I are selling the Racetrack house, the world's coolest race car track house. A year ago, right about now, we were out there doing it. This is a 3266 Spring Mountain Raceway. I got to tell you something. I don't know if I showed this to you, Brian, Jim. Chevrolet Corvette just rented our listing out there. They had the 50 top executives and all the influencers. They had to sign an NDA. I knew about it. They just released it. So our listing is on Chevrolet's website.
Nice.
4.1 million views on it. We're on the Corvette website. And you can see our house. And you go to Instagram, you'll see where Brian and I were standing out front. We've done 2 big parties and events out there.
Do they have a collection of all generations?
So this is about the new Grand Sport Corvette. So the Corvette was in '63. Was a the first of the C3s. It was at Sebring as a racing car. So the new Grand Sport is the torquiest naturally aspirated car. They went to a 409. So a 409 is a big engine, but it's a small block. So it's got a lot of grunt. It's naturally aspirated. It just sounds different than a flat paint or the flat paint crank.
Yeah.
It's a different. This is a cross
Z06.
plane, very torquey engine, but they have the nicest 63 you've ever seen from Chevy. It's in their collection.
A split window?
No. This is
Yeah.
this is the 63 split window. This is the
The
Grand
rarest.
Sport. This is the one that's got the stripe down the center. So it's at our
Yeah.
listing right now. They got the 63 there, and that you should look. You should look at it on the Chevrolet
It's
Corvette
like
page.
blue and yellow.
Blue, the blue and white, and then they have the yellow. The Corvettes have so much power now.
Yeah.
You know, we like Ferraris. I've driven the 719 horse. We've driven F12s and these different ones. This new
Wow.
Corvette 719
Yeah,
horse.
it's crazy.
Wow, you guys are toying around with 700 horsepower machines.
We've driven 1,000 horsepower recently. Just this last year, we had a 1,000 horsepower Hennessy twin turbo at the shop.
Yeah.
Manual shift, 255 mile an hour, one of the fastest cars ever hit the road, 255. And so it's a Viper V10 manual shift. We're changing the clutch pack in it, and it needed fuel. So I'm like, okay, I'll drive it over to the Chevy, or go over to Chevron and put some fuel in it, right? Third gear. I'm telling you, if you even pushed it, even half throttle, you are absolutely asking for it. I love to drive fast.
You're going to
Yeah.
spin out.
You will spin the tires at 100 miles an hour going down the road, but where we're going with all this, with the cars and thing, is the luxury. We're doing these great car events. We're pairing supercars and hypercars at our events. We also have a house right now. It's officially a pocket listing. It's going to be going on this next coming week. We're going to have professional tennis players over there. We're going to bring some hot rod cars and things. We can do your commercial and your luxury events and get you exposure that you may not get. Why? Because we know casino owners through the shop. We know it through our dealer's license and all the cars. We're brokering cars, right? We're car brokers. We'll get you great exposure on your luxuries. Don't just call the other big guys. Give Brian and I a call and see what we can do for you. We really can. We're running up late on a break. Get excited talking about cars. We got spaceships going up. We do appreciate you listening. This is the Richard Husel Real Estate Hour.